Hi, I'm Scott, also known as ChaChingKing, and today I'm going to talk to you about the 10 things that I think you need to consider if you are wanting to work for yourself at home. So let's dive right in and talk about what those things are and how they can impact your decision. First and foremost is you're going to have to maintain financial stability. When you first start working for yourself at home, your income level may not be stable as you build a business. And so, do you have the savings that it takes to cover that gap? If you don't have financial stability when you're starting your job, it will derail you mentally before you can get the ball rolling, before you can get things going. Let's move on to number 2. As you're building a business, like for us on eBay, there's a lot of market research that goes into that. And market research for us was a long time that we'd been selling on eBay, and we knew what the potential was. We also knew that we could source the inventory, because all of those things go into a business. Not only do you have to be able to sell it, but you have to be able to get the stuff to sell, and you have to be able to buy it at a price that allows you to sell it at this price. And you need to know how long is it going to take to build up that business before you're seeing the profits that you believe are possible. So market research is a huge factor in deciding whether or not you're going to quit a job that has a regular check. All right, let's move on to number 3. I'm going to call 3 skills and expertise. I knew that Melody and I could sell on eBay because we had been selling on eBay for a long time, and we had done so very successfully. We knew how to list. We knew how to make a good, attractive ad. We knew how to photograph. We knew where to find this stuff. We knew how to sell the stuff. We knew how to market this stuff. We knew going in that we had the skills and expertise to make a job out of eBay. Whereas if you're going to ask me when I started YouTube, did I have the skills and expertise necessary to turn that into an income that I would have quit my job for? And the answer is absolutely not. Let's move on to the next one. I have talked about the importance of a business plan many times on this channel. You cannot go into it blindly. Selling on eBay doesn't look the same for me that it does for other people. And it's not going to look the same for you that it does for me. For example, in my business plan, I didn't want to try and list 50 or 100 items a day, which meant that I needed to be able to find inventory that was valuable enough to sell it at a high enough average sale price to support the income that I was going to need. So you need to have a very clear, well thought out business plan for what you're hoping to do. Because without that, you are literally setting sail on a rudderless ship and just hoping you wind up someplace you want to be. And it doesn't work like that. All right, let's move on to number 5. Number 5 is time commitment. One of the things that happens when you first start working for yourself is you have this illusion of free time because your time is genuinely flexible. It is up to you when you work. You want to go hit all the yard sales in the morning? Terrific. That's a part of your job. And you want to be able to go have lunch with your wife because that's one of the reasons you wanted to work from home. But at some point, you're still going to have to put in the hours in order to accomplish the business plan that you put out so that you can accomplish raising enough money to support yourself, which is the whole goal. Here's what working for yourself from home isn't. It is not less work. It is not less hours. They are more flexible hours. Be committed to the time and have a realistic understanding about how much time running a business like eBay at home actually takes. All right, let's move on to number 6. 6 is networking and connections. And let's talk about what that means. In my business plan, I am not aggressive enough to have my whole business plan built around sourcing at the Goodwill bins, because I'm not going to fight people for things. And if once you've run into a few ugly people, like for me, I enjoy the bins on occasion, but I could not build my business around it. What I did build my business around are private picks. I make more and I do more from private picks than I do every other form of sourcing combined. These are connections and networking that I have developed over a long period of time, long before I quit to come home. All right, let's take a look at number 7. Oh man, and number 7 may be the hardest, and it is a balance between business and personal time. This isn't just a time commitment to do the job. When you are working for yourself, and I'm going to admit right up front, I don't have this one down. Like, if you're watching my channel to figure out, oh, I need to know exactly how to do this, I mean, I can tell you what you need to do, but I don't practice it very well, and I need to. My whole life, and a lot of other resellers I know, your whole life ends up being the job. Your whole life ends up being the business that you've created. And if you're not careful, if you don't learn some balance, you end up defeating the very reason that you came home to work from yourself. Nobody's telling you have to work. You're making yourself work nonstop. The personal life is just as important as your business life. All right, let's move on to the next one. Benefits are one of the biggest considerations in quitting your job and coming home. If you have a job working for someone else, you probably have access to some insurance, especially if you're full-time. If you're leaving a good job, you probably have access to insurance. Do you have access to a savings plan, whether that's something like a 401k or a 457b or a 403b? If you have access to a savings plan, it's going to change when you come home and you work for yourself. Did you have dental insurance? Did you have health insurance? Did you have life insurance? Did you have a car? Did you have a vehicle? Your benefits when you get home are going to come entirely from the revenue that you generate in your business. And you have to consider what those benefits are when you come home. So make sure that you have a plan for that in place before you turn in a resignation. All right, let's take a look at the next one. The next one is risk tolerance. All of us have a built-in level of risk tolerance that we're willing to take. And what this means is that on eBay, you'll hear people talk about the summer slowdown. Is that something that's really going to bother you? That, you know, if you're going to make, say, $6,000 a month, $6,000 a month, and then in the summer you're going to make 3 or 4, you have to find a way to figure out what the risk is, and then figure out how you're going to deal with the risk and how much that's going to bother you. I can't assess what level of risk you can take. And I don't know that anybody can do that for you. And that's going to bring us to number 10. And number 10 may be the most important aspect of deciding whether or not you can work from home. So let's move on to it. The last consideration I'm going to talk about in this video is a support system. Do you have a support system in place that will allow you to make this transition? You're trying to decide whether or not you can leave your job and go home and work. A support system isn't just, I'm already selling on eBay and I already know where to get the stuff and I can make money doing it. And it goes beyond, I know where I can get insurance and I know that I'll be able to pay for it. There are more important things than just do the dollars work. And a support system is this. One of the hardest aspects of becoming a reseller at home is that you are suddenly isolated. A support system is that person that can not only help you do things, but it's that person that can lift you up when you are falling down. It's that person that will tell you, hey, I realize today was slow. We didn't have many sales. We're going to do this, this, and this, and tomorrow we're going to be okay. And I'm going to finish with a part of the support system that you may not have considered. And it's one that you need to work on. I need to work on. Everybody I've ever met needs to work on. And that's the internal support system. Man, my harshest critic isn't Melody. It's not YouTube. It's not Instagram. My harshest critic is me. The person who would tell me for the longest time that I can't do this job is inside of me. Those are some of the things that you need to consider when you're trying to decide, can you leave your job and work for yourself at home? And it's not a question that other people can answer for you because they can't put numbers to it. They can't decide a lot of these things that only you can sit down and figure out. What I do want to tell you is everything that I thought would be true about working for myself from home has been true. I still work a lot of hours, but the flexibility and time for me is something I had never known how awesome that would be, because it truly is. So I hope that as you move forward and you make this decision, I hope that you make the very best decision for you. It doesn't have to match mine, it doesn't have to match another YouTuber. It only has to match exactly what your dreams are. And hopefully on this channel, I can help support that. If I can, I'd love to have you subscribe and come back and watch some more videos. Whatever happens, I appreciate you being here. I'm going to see you real soon on the next one. Bye.